did you first sell wholesale, and who was your first customer? Hays Market in Johnstown?
Yeah, so the Hays Market was our first wholesale account. We're at the Johnstown and Berthoud locations. Huge thank you to the Hays brothers. They really, they really gave us our first grocery placement, which was huge, and it felt amazing. And it's kind of one of those, big milestones in somebody's small business journey. Like once you can get into, you see your stuff on the grocery shelf, it's super satisfying.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's talk about, let's go a little deeper into that specific story just for a minute, because we'll have to ping the Hays family and let them know we talked about them on the Riderflex podcast. Talk to me for a minute. So you got this stuff, and you and your husband are talking, and you're like, all right, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to pitch this to Hays. Walk us through that pitch. I want to just visualize you calling them and then going down there and taking it, and they're tasting it. Walk me through how that
went. So it was an email at first. So yeah.
Did you know? Did you have a contact that they know you?
No, I just kind of went kind of cold calling in that
email.
sense.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just decided, hey, I'm going to hit them up. I'm going to tell them about my product, see if I can get a meeting. And I did. And Ryan and I met.
Somebody responded to your email?
Yes. Yeah. Because I mean, you know Hays, but they're really supportive of local products, and as they should be. So it's really a nice thing. But met with them, and
who'd you meet with?
Ryan Hays.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And he, talked to me a little bit about what I was doing. He also gave me a lot of pointers on how I was doing this. So it was really a pitch, but also just kind of a nice meeting to kind of talk to somebody in the grocery industry who could kind of give me some pointers. So we communicated for a few months, and finally, it was ready. So
it took a couple of months to get it on the shelf.
It did. Shelf life testing for a frozen product is done in real time. They can't accelerate that. So I did have to go through some shelf life testing, which was going to be necessary for other grocery stores. So it's something I'd never even thought of, but I'm glad that he told me to do that. Yeah.
Are you like, don't you have to be like cleared through the FDA, or don't you have to what are all the rules around food production? And I'm guessing you don't have a commercial kitchen yet, do you?
I do. Yeah. I work out of a commercial kitchen in Platteville. It's owned by one of my mentors. She owns her own catering company, and she built a beautiful commercial kitchen on her house. And it's like my second home.
But those first shipments to Hays, were you already in the commercial kitchen, or were you doing those from your house?
Yeah, you have to be out of a commercial kitchen in order to be licensed through the
That's
county.
What I thought. Okay.
Yep. And then it was an additional license through the state to be able to wholesale.
When you met with the Hays boys, were they like, hey man, we'd love to buy your product, but you can't make this in your kitchen. Like, you got to go through. Is that how that worked?
Yeah. A lot of people, their first question is, where are you making this? Because there's a lot of regulations. We are not a meat or dairy product. So obviously there's added regulations on those where we're just veggies. So that was easy enough to navigate, but you definitely want to have your compliance and licensing in place before you try and, branch out, because it's just necessary.
So your biggest cash outlay when you're doing this startup, besides the risk of quitting your job and losing that income.
Thank you. Yes.
Your biggest cash outlay was the lease of the commercial kitchen and any licensing type FDA stuff. Is that right? Or am I missing?
Yeah, I would say licensing and then the lease. Like the licensing is definitely, because you have to go through courses as well to get your license. So it's a big time and financial commitment, but you have to have it.
And you guys had some cash set aside to do all this, or did you borrow some cash? How'd you make it financially?
Yeah. We really were, trying to find the most cost effective way to do this. So it was self-funded from the start. Yep.
Wow. So, okay. Yeah. And is it still that way? You guys bootstrapped it?
Yeah. Yeah. And it, we are not quite there looking for investors, but it's on the horizon. So
getting closer, huh?
Yeah, we're excited, and I wanted to have a few years of numbers to present. Once I was ready for that, so we're getting there.
Hey man, it's not like it's a hell of a lot different when you say, hey, my proof of concept is already there. It's on the shelf. I actually have people buying the product. I have reviews. I have followers.
Right.
You know, it's in several different grocery chains. And by the way, I don't have any debt because I bootstrapped this thing from the beginning, and I haven't taken on any cash.
Yeah.
That's a lot more attractive for a potential investor than you just going in on it with a PowerPoint saying, I have an idea. If you think today's tip or guest interview can help someone you know, please share this with them. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. The Riderflex podcast features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviewing. You can visit riderflex.com to learn more about us and get information and pricing on the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.